Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as Retro Lemon, and this is episode 23. I wanted to give a quick update about my knee. I am no longer in the big Franken brace, as we've affectionately called it here. I went and I saw the orthopedic specialist, and he says I don't have a torn LCL. I might have strained my LCL, but I have torn cartilage instead. So the good news is torn cartilage will hopefully heal on its own, and I hopefully won't have to have surgery. It still might be a slight possibility, but if it is, it's that, what is it called, an orthoscopic? Someone's probably yelling it at me. Anyways, where they just go in and they can clean out some of the inflammation. But I am doing physical therapy 3 times a week, which, okay, it's not fun. It can be very painful, especially like the first day when my physical therapist was jabbing his finger into my knee. And, but otherwise it's helping. I've already noticed a bit of a difference. They do this, I don't remember, it's like some electro something. They take these little, like, sticky things, you know, like heart monitors, and they put it around my knee. There's like 4 of them. And they, like, zap it. And they do it for like 15 minutes. And I walk out of there feeling amazing for like 2 or 3 hours. And then the pain comes back full blast and it's all swollen. But we're getting there. So hopefully it'll heal on its own. And, you know, so I think I'm scheduled for 4 weeks of physical therapy. I see the orthopedic specialist after 3 weeks, and we go from there. So I can sit upright comfortably in my chair today and not have to be all leaned back, and I can also move closer and show you guys stuff. So real quick, what I want is right there. Hold on. Okay. I wanted to show what I got in my swap. I was doing the Dancing Dog Dye Works Summer Fun Swap. And my partner was Lindsay, aka Little Lippy U on Ravelry. So I got this bag, and it's cute because you can, like, cinch it. How cute is that? So the theme, summer fun or whatever, it's supposed to be like a kind of like by the sea or at the beach kind of theme. And she sent stuff for my kids, which was really awesome too. But I so geeked out about this. I got, oh, I hear thunder. I hope we get rain. It has been in the upper 90s here. I think we hit 98 yesterday. And it is so humid. My hair is a mess. Feels like you're like breathing water. And I just heard thunder. Let's hope for some storms. So, okay, I got this really super awesome octopus. Now, the designer has a book out called Amigurumi Knits, and she has a name that I can't even begin to pronounce, so I'm not gonna. But her patterns intimidate the crud out of me. Like, I will never write a pattern. Okay, I shouldn't say never, I realize that. But at this point, I have no plans whatsoever to make a pattern this complex and awesome and realistic looking. So it was made out of Dancing Dog Dye Works Waltz Wurst in the Sunset on the Dunes colorway with orange, because she knows I love orange. So, super awesome. Totally, I was geeking out about it. And then she made a little flounder. This is a cheese zombie pattern. And the best thing is look. It's a tape measure. And she also, oh, I totally forgot to snag it for my daughter. She also made my daughter a cheese zombie stingray in hot pink, which is her favorite color. And she sent squirt guns and silly string for my boys, which they have had a ton of fun with that. Next, she also sent, okay, this was a huge bag of taffy. Like, it was like full. We've chowed on it big time. My box came Thursday, so I've had it for almost a week. And then she made these super duper awesome They're made out of tiles, but they're coasters. One has a really cute pink fish, and the other has a really cute jellyfish. So, super, super awesome, super cute. I don't think I forgot anything. If I did, I apologize, but I think that was pretty much the swap package, which was totally awesome. Really, really fun swap. And it's kind of funny because I sent her package out on a Monday, and she got it on Friday. She sent mine on Tuesday, and I got it on Thursday. So it took 2 days less to go from her to me than it did from me to her. Next up, we will talk about the knit-along. The July-August knit-along. It's the Retro Lemon Studio Toy Free-for-All. So if you're just tuning in, or you can't remember what exactly that entails, it's any pattern written by me. So I just thought it would be fun. It's always fun to knit toys. They're always my favorite things to knit. I know some people find them fiddly, but just give them a try. Try out an owl puff. It's free. They're quick. I mean, I can crank out an owl puff in like a half hour. So I wanted to feature a different pattern each week, so I thought I'd show you Fidget. I love Fidget. Fidget was one of my first patterns out, and I was actually commissioned to do this pattern by Michelle of Dancing Dog Dye Works. She wanted to do a kit, and she wanted a Fidget because her dog's Fidget. One of them. She has 2 now. And Fidget is some sort of terrier. I'm thinking she might be a Jack Russell or a Fox Terrier. But my dog Victor is a Jack Russell, so I kind of modeled it after him because he's kind of roly-polying around because he's old. And I like huggable toys. I like a toy that you can hug. Like, minis are fun and cute, but I like something that you can hug and snuggle if you want. So, this sample is knit out of Dancing Dog Dye Works Waltz Worst, and it is the Fidget colorway, the multicolored colorway, and Pretty Pink. So that's Fidget. Good size, and it has a little tail. I didn't make it too long. I wanted to make it kind of really stumpy. My dog has a docked tail. That's just how he came. And, but I made it a little longer. And the ears are straight, and you can just bend them over. That's what I do. That's Fidget. So, moving into finished objects, another pattern of mine is Orbit. I had so much fun making this Orbit because this Orbit is made out of my hand spun. The knit-along with Diane of Knittables and Amy, who's Froggy Monkey of the Knitting in Circles podcast, are having a knit-along since they had the spin-along. So I thought, like, as soon as I had spun up my Franklin fiber, I'm like, that would be perfect for an Orbit. The little outgoing alien. So I knitted on size 6 because I had gotten a worsted weight. Now this is one of the earlier fibers that I had spun, so my consistency wasn't perfect, and I doubt you'd be able to tell on the camera. But there is a spot that goes right across his butt where it is thinner. So one thing I do, kind of a toy tip, when I knit a toy of any kind, I always decide which side I like better. Like, I'll flip it over, and I don't just usually go with whatever side. I always kind of look and pick. So it was kind of nice because I could kind of see this was really the only thin spot on the body, and I could put it towards the back. And really, if you're just looking him over, you probably wouldn't even notice. I don't know that the camera could pick that up. And I used 15mm safety eyes and just a little piece of scrap black for the mouth. And then another thing I like to do, some people, because I think about it, you might just sew the arms or legs on, however, and not pay any attention. But see, I like that this arm is orange and yellow. This one's like yellow and gray. So I had to do them opposite. So I had to take the yellow and orange leg and put it on the opposite side of the body. And then this gray leg on this side, since the gray arm's on this side. And the antennas match, they're the same. But that's me. Some people, you know, might put both gray on both sides, and some people might just not care. That's it for finished objects. I was hoping to have more, but I really didn't, since I went to this is Wednesday. Friday I went to the orthopedic specialist, and he was immediately like, take off that knee immobilizer brace thing. He's like, you don't need that. He's like, you actually need to exercise the knee. And I asked him about spinning, because I'm like, well, I don't want to do more damage if spinning on my wheel would be bad. So he was like, no, go ahead. That would actually be like a great physical therapy thing. So I had time to spin this week. So knitting, I didn't get a whole lot done. But I did knit on this everywhere I went. I was stuck. The orthopedic surgeon was running like a little over an hour behind on appointments. So I had an hour to knit on this Friday. I knitted on it some over the weekend. Going to physical therapy, I pretty much get in right away, so I don't really have time to knit there. But I did go hang out Monday after my first physical therapy appointment, because I had a sitter that day. And I went to the local coffee house, my favorite one, and I got some lunch and a coffee, and I just sat there and I knitted for like an hour and nibbled on my food and enjoyed myself. So this is my color affection. The pattern is by Vera Valimaki. I am knitting it in Cascade Heritage yarn. The Aquish Blue is Anise. And then I also do like this green. It's kind of hard to see the true color of the green. This is the green. This is Primavera. And then the red is Christmas Red. I also know they have numbers, the colors do, but I buy all my yarn from Jimmy Bean's Wool. Well, not all of it, but all of my, like, big brand of yarn. And they have names on there. So I only have 1.5 repeats of the third section to go. I'm getting really close. And then the red border. And it'll be done. I'm loving all these colors together. I can't remember if I said last week, on the 4th of July I was working on this, and my grandmother kept saying, that green does not work with those. I don't like that green. You need to rethink that green. But I do. I love the green. And I love the red. I'm really into red right now. Red and yellow, but not together. Next up, my other works in progress is my Even Star. I just finished chart 2 and I did the increase round. So someone had asked on Plurk about what size needle, or like, not the size of needle, but the size of circular. So what I did chart 1 on 6-inch double points, size 3. I did the second chart on a 22-inch circular size 3 needle. And then when I went in and I did the increase round right after chart 2, I moved up to a 47-inch size 3. So it's getting there. I feel good that I'm already done with chart 2. But I know I just doubled my stitches with the increase round. So every row after this is going to take twice as long. And I think like there's like 70 some rows of chart 3. I'm like, oh good golly, it's going to take forever. So I'm getting there. I'm using, the pattern is the Even Star by Susan Pandorf. The yarn is Volniza lace garn in the Pistazzi colorway. And like I said, size 3 needles. And then I put in here, so I'd have them, I ordered the beads a while ago from fusionbeads.com. And I am using crystal clear beads. So they are not lined. They are perfectly clear. I don't know if you can really see. They just look kind of white. But they are perfectly clear. And on Fusion Beads, they are crystal clear AB, like the letters AB, beads. So they just have like a little bit of a rainbowy sheen on them. So when the light hits them, it just adds a little more color, because I wanted my beads to be subtle. And I used the same beads, just in a bigger size, for my Hogwarts Express. So, Love Fusion beads. I got 3,000 of these, plus another few hundred of the size 6 seed beads for my Hogwarts, plus like another 500 beads for another shawl that I plan on doing. So, thousands of beads. Like, a buttload of beads, and it was under $20 with free shipping. So, I highly recommend fusionbeads.com if you need beads for something. Okay, that's in there. Moving right along. I have one Yarny goodness this week, and I'm excited because I didn't pay for it. And it wasn't a prize. It was nothing I traded. So someone put out on the Dancing Dog Dye Works thread that they were looking to trade their yarn, and they were looking for something pink and purple. Well, I just happen to have a skein of pink and purple. That just, pink and purple are not my thing. I'm not a fan of purple really at all. So, she was wanting to trade Franklin. It's the twist sock. It said Franklin colorway, and it is striped. So it stripes yellow, white, and gray. So, and then someone else had posted on the board their finished socks that they just did in these with the afterthought heel, and they're awesome. So, I think that's what I will probably do with mine as well. It'll definitely be socks. I like a gusset heel better. I think it fits me better, and it's more convenient. You don't have to go back. When the toe is done, you're done. But I love the look of the afterthought heel socks. So, I'm kind of torn. But, oh, I love these. I love yellow and gray. So excited. That's my only Yarny goodness. Magazine review. I said last week that since I couldn't lean forward and show the pictures very well, I'd do it this week. So, it is Vogue Knitting Early Fall 2012. Yeah, I buy Vogue Knitting no matter what. I don't even look at it at the newsstands. I just buy it. I've said before, it's kind of like my Playboy, because I buy it for the pictures. I can say I buy it for the articles, but I love to flip through it. I love to look at the ads. I love to look at the photography of the patterns. Even if I don't like the pattern, sometimes the pictures I think are just gorgeous. Sometimes they're not, but it's a total guilty pleasure of mine. So, I love that this month they featured Knit Red products. I have shown the Knit Red button I've bought. I have bought a skein of yarn that profits go to the Knit Red. I showed a couple weeks ago the Knit Red book. So I love that they showed more products. There is, the Knit Red snaps from Namaste. There's buttons, there's soak, there's patterns, needles. What are they? Denise Interchangeables has a Stitch Red set. So I love to see companies supporting the cause. I also love the article. It's called Crossing the Woolly Divine, Yarns That Heal Nations and Spirits. And the article is about women in Afghanistan and Israel who are spinning yarn and making yarn and selling fleeces and wool to support their families, because there's so much animosity towards Afghanistan and stuff right now, which, of course, I mean, right, some of it is definitely rightfully so, but at the same time we need to remember there are still people there who are good people, who are not out to hurt others, who are trying to make livings for their families. So I thought this was a really good article. I really enjoyed reading it. I also really loved Knitting Your Way Around Iceland. So it shows like shops and beautiful pictures of the scenery. I really enjoyed this article as well. I'm like, I'd love to go to Iceland and see things. I wish I had the means to do more traveling. I mean, really, it is fun to see the sweaters and, you know, that's where all that beautiful Fair Isle comes from. As for the patterns, like I said, there was nothing that wowed me. There is nothing in this issue that I'm like, yes, I have to make that. I definitely can appreciate this. This is... I'm not seeing the name of this pattern, but it'll be pattern 1. And it is the lace jacket. Now, it is not something I'd say that I would ever wear, and I definitely don't like the color because I'm not a pink person, but I can totally appreciate the amount of time and effort and skill that goes into this. I love lace. I love to knit lace. I love to wear lace. I love it. A lot of the stuff in this magazine just seemed like, I don't want to offend anybody, but it kind of seemed like old lady-ish to me. Like, I'm like, to me, I'm like, Vogue, I think Vogue is being very fashion forward. I love Vogue fashion magazine for the pictures. But some of the stuff was just hideous. I did not like this one bit. This was a flop for me. It is like a little cropped cardi type thing with this huge ruffle around the neck. And the weird thing is it doesn't just go like around the neck and down. It actually goes past the cardigan and like hooks around. I don't get it. Now on the opposite page, I hadn't planned on showing this, but this still has kind of the ruffle too. And while I still don't care for it, this at least I think is better done than the other one. One thing I did like that I would consider knitting was this little jacket. It's cute. I love the little kind of cable-y border that wraps around, kind of from the lower front around the back. And it kind of just has like a little swing top type thing. You know, it flares out. Sorry. It is hot in here today. And I had to turn the ceiling fan off, because if not, it would probably drive you nuts. Let's see. One thing that I really did like, and if I were to make anything out of this magazine, this would definitely be it. I really like the pattern, and the more I look at it, the more I like it. And I think the busy background kind of takes away from it. This is just a beautiful triangle lace shawl. They did it in a blue. They were going for like this French and a country looking. But I really like that. That's probably my favorite thing. And then on the opposite page, I wonder about Vogue sometimes, because to me this was on Mark. Then on the opposite page, I'm like, what in the is that? That to me just looks like a mess. It's too fluffy and furry and holy, and I don't like it. So that's it for Vogue knitting. Like I said, it's kind of the typical Vogue type stuff. Nothing really rocked my socks this week. I don't like the thing on the front. Like I said, I totally love lace. That's a bit much. So moving right along into spinning. All spun up this week. Oh, it's a loop. I love loop. I have learned. You can kind of see my little tie here. I normally try to tuck this in. It's still a little damp in some spots. It's so humid here, it doesn't want to dry. I love loop. I think loop is my all-time most favorite thing to spin in the whole wide world. I love it. So I showed this, I think, 2 weeks ago. 2 or 3. I don't know what in the world just beeped. I don't know if you heard that, but it was a beep. anyways, totally distracted myself. Sorry about that. Loop. Anyways, I got this a couple weeks ago. It was part of my loop club. It was called Boardwalk. And it goes, it's like the insides here. It goes from like this, like, grayish blue to this kind of mustardy. It's almost like an orange. Like almost like a mustardy orange to a sky blue to red to a peach to this bright blue. And I just love it. I love it. And I will try. Someone asked if I could insert pictures of like what it was before it was spun. So I'm going to try that. So if I can, I'm going to try to insert it here. And now you can see what it looks like once it's spun up. I couldn't do that last week because I could not stand to sit at the computer desk because I couldn't have my leg propped up the way it's all set up. So I will try to do that this week because it's true. Sometimes when something sits, you're like, oh, I would have loved to have seen what that looked like before. So then on the bobbins this week, it's kind of wonky looking. I was spinning it while watching a podcast, so I'm not always looking down to switch my hooks. Good enough. I am working on, I've spun about 1 ounce of my Greenwood Fiberworks club colorway called Metro, and everybody should have gotten this by now, so I'm not spoiling anything. Actually, the July club, the international ones have gone out, and I believe at the end of the week, the U.S. people's will be sent out. So it is like a blue, I'm trying to think of how to describe the blue. The blue is not very visible because it's mainly under here. But it's a blue, not a sky blue, it's like a stormy blue, and a gray, and a lime green, and there's some white, but the white kind of gets mixed in with everything else. So, like I said, about 1 ounce, 3 more ounces to go, and then I will probably just 2-ply this, and hopefully it'll be super barber pole-y, because I love to see the greens and the blues mixed with the gray. I definitely don't want that gray solid. I'm not really into really dark colors for my knitting. I like bright. And then, okay, so I'm sure you've seen some other podcasters talk about, you have these little winky mini skeins. I dropped one, excuse me. You have these little mini skeins. This is like the stuff left over on a bobbin when you're 2-plying. No matter how close I try to split my halves evenly, I just have a little left over on one. So I Navajo ply it, and then I have these little mini skeins, and I don't know what to do with them. So I'm asking if any of you have any ideas. I would love to know. Because I know Amy of Knitting in Circles says she hangs them on pegs somewhere in her craft room area. Which I don't know that she's ever showed a picture of it. I would love to see one, Amy. Steve of Dramatic Knit said that he's putting his in like this glass cookie jar. Which I'm like, oh, that's an awesome idea. But I'm like, I don't want to just go stealing Steve's idea. I'm kind of looking, you know, for something of my own. So these are just a few. Because I wanted to show so people knew what I was talking about. So, looking for some ideas. And they're different weights. So, like, I was thinking at first, I'm like, well, maybe I can make like little hexie puffs or make a scarf out of all the little scraps. But they're all different weights. They're from, like, a really heavy worsted all the way down to, like, a fingering. So, like I said, any suggestions, I am totally open to hearing them. Now for fiber goodness. It was, I spent all day at the ER last week, so I treated myself to a loop. Loopy loop. Hello. I'm sorry if y'all are sick of everyone talking about loop, but I think loop is like, it's like the cat's meow. And I got Strawberry Patch. Look at that. I am so in love with this. She had done Strawberry Patch a few weeks ago, and I missed it. Totally, you know, just missed it, and was kind of bummed. I was like, sucks. Really wanted Strawberry Patch. Okay, so I suggested to Steph of Luke that I would love to see Strawberry Patch come back, and she took my suggestion and she made this a repeatable. I'm so excited. I want to hug it. I love every single loop that I have, and it's so hard to pick which one to do next. So I have to get some club fibers out of the way, like my Greenwood Fiberworks and my Into the World. So, because they get entered in for prizes. And I figure, you know, I pay for my club memberships like everybody else, and I want the same chances to win prizes. That's my loop, Strawberry Patch. Okay, if you are in the Into the World Fiber Club, and you do not want to be spoiled because you haven't gotten yours, look away. This is awesome. Oh my god, this is the last shipment of the Firefly inspired colorways, and it is Rame Brulee? I would assume. It looks like it's French, Rame Brulee. I've never really heard of the fiber before, and I'm definitely not familiar with it at all, but it is so soft. It's very sheepy. Very sheepy. And it is called Captain Tight Pants. It is inspired by I think it's fan art of Nathan Fillion. And I just love this so much. It is these gorgeous, there's like this green and aqua blue and deep blue and red and browns and yellows, and it is just gorgeous. I'm seriously loving this club. I mean, the colors are so vibrant, and it's really soft. Super, super soft. I love it. So, this is going to coordinate with the Knit Girls Expand Your Horizons for August, which is the, like I said, I hope I'm pronouncing it right when I say Rame Brulee. So, I will be spinning this come beginning of August, so I can enter it into the World monthly club fiber thing and do the Knit Girls Expand Your Horizon. This is so pretty. It's going to be so hard not to spin this right away. I really would love this to be next on the wheel, but I'm like, no, I'll wait because I want to do the Expand Your Horizon, but it is so squishy. Like, it really just hug it. I love it. I love the color. Into the World really blows my mind constantly. I don't think I've ever really seen one colorway that I just didn't like at all. I mean, obviously there are some that I like more than others. Look at those blues. Oh, love it. The yellow. I'm so into yellow right now. I want to knit a yellow sweater. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I must knit a yellow sweater. I want to do I was gifted the vodka lemonade sweater from Amy Froggy Monkey for my birthday. And I think I know what color I want to do. So now I just got to save the money because I got a new phone, finally. My BlackBerry was good to me, but it's so outdated and it would take 5 minutes to load a page, and it was time. So I got a new phone, and then driving to physical therapy 3 times a week is kind of putting a strain on my extra spending money. So it'll be a little skimpy around here for a while in the goodness section. So I think that's it for me this week. I was thinking there was something else that I hadn't written down, but I can't remember. So if it's really important, I'll throw it in next week. Not a big deal. So keep your toys coming into the knit along thread. I love seeing them. I love seeing all the ways people get creative with the patterns. It's so much fun. So keep them coming. You got the rest of July and almost all of August. The knit along closes at noon on the 29th of August. Can't remember if I said that. So, I forgot to say it in the beginning, but if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking me out. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I love all the activities and the threads and the posting, and people send me the nicest PMs as well, and I really appreciate it. So, until next week, I will see you then. Bye. I almost forgot. I am Jenna, also known as Retro Lemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, and Pinterest. So now until next week, I'll see you then. Bye.